WEMFradio.com.
Sweet.
Hey, I'm Pat B.
And I'm Adam Willis.
And you're listening to the Geek Down here on WEMF Radio. Oh, joy is filled with why am I alone? I'm bopping by myself. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm gonna tell you people. Oh, sorry. I had to get that out of my system. Get a little amped when you start off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Geek Down. I am Pat B. To the side of me, this nerdy-looking gentleman right here. I mean, the geekiest of the geek.
Oh, you're so kind.
The dorkiest of the dork. The wolf dork, if you will. Looking like Teen Wolf with the hoodie, man.
You seriously? You still going?
I'm talking, of course, about Black Adam Willis.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay, man. I'm serious, though. You got, like, this Teen Wolf vibe.
Man, I just left watching the Celtics, so I'm a little worried about them, you know what I mean? I kind of want to sit around and watch that.
Game's not over. You keep the faith, my man. That's how we do things here. If not, see how fast Herb can run. You from out of town, right? I just checking. All right. No, in-house also, of course. I look across the table right next to you, my friend. We have a couple of guests from Reliable Bud. Okay, don't downplay it. These fine individuals are from Reliable Bud, not just guests in-house gracing us with their presence, but also the Geek Down for the next couple of weeks is actually brought to you by Reliable Bud. Be sure to check them out at reliablebud.com. But I'm talking, of course, to
Chris Pagel
and Deneb Dollinger, founder of Reliable Bud.
Hey, you want to give our listeners a quick breakdown of what is Reliable Bud?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Reliable Bud is a app and event company. We're here to connect cannabis enthusiasts with the products and services that they're after, as well as provide a safe and secure networking platform for things like caregivers to communicate with other caregivers, find strains that they don't have, and like I said, really just trying to promote the cannabis industry and get it in the hands of the common farmer, the average man.
That's nice. I like that. All right.
Very nice.
And, of course, right next to them, ready to give us the spoopiest of the spoop.
I am very spoopy.
Well, always happy to have in the house Mix Macabre.
What's up?
Hey.
It's been a little while.
I know, it's been a while.
What have you been doing?
I've been a busy bee. Conventions mostly. I was at Steampunk World's Fair.
I don't want to hear any of it. Come on.
Yeah.
Should have been here the entire time.
I'm so sorry. I know. It's how dare I leave this room ever.
Exactly what I was thinking.
No, we had the prizes of the Watch City Steampunk Festival in a couple weeks back. So you were promoting the competition?
Well, no, it was the weekend beforehand, and a lot of people do both. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to the Watch City Festival. I was too busy performing in a Marvel-themed burlesque show with D20 Burlesque in New York City.
Oh, okay. Had you said anything else, I would have been upset, but that's a viable excuse. All right, no, welcome back.
I also hate steampunk.
Wow.
We talked
just
about
offended
this.
Pat.
We talked about this.
Like, personally. Okay, you know what? Steam-powered pistols at dawn. No, I've got a Derringer here somewhere. Give me a second. All right, and of course, you may see him fiddling in the back if you're watching us on twitch.tv/thegeekdown. If you're not, you should. I just gave you the information. But I'm talking, of course, about just Johnny.
Yo.
This man here. All right, we have an action-packed, fun-filled show for you kids. We have news, we have reviews, we have all types of stuff about products you can use. But first, let's start off with a bit of, I'll say, less happy information.
Yeah, I don't want to...
Film nerds like us.
I don't really want to spend much time on it. I'm just going to say Powers Booth died. He's one of the greatest character actors ever. 68 years old, no cause of death really specified. But if you have watched anything in the past, like 15, 20 years, you've seen him in something. Deadwood, I think, is the biggest. He was so great in that as Cy Tulliver.
Most recently, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right, yeah. And he was Sin City, Tombstone, Frailty, Sudden Death with Van Damme. He was a bad guy in that. Basically, he played a lot of bad guys, a lot of evil figures.
Face,
that face.
That Texas drawl, too, you know. So he had these eyes that could, like, look right through. He was just so great.
Texans.
Yeah, so great in so many things. And just like one of those deaths, you're like, really? Why would Powers Booth die? That makes no sense.
You don't think they're ever going to die. They're
exactly.
Just like background figures forever.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere. So, like I said,
someday
no
Johnny
cause
Sheet is going to go, and we're all going to be very, very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fastest casket dropping ever.
Exactly. So, like I said, I don't want to spend much time on it. I'll just say how fantastic he was. I really appreciated his work. Yeah, that's all I got.
Powers Booth, rest in peace. All right, now, we do have a discussion to get into that's, in itself, it's not the happiest news. It's just something to, like, really make you wonder. Now, a direct market pioneer was killed recently in a robbery. Not even a robbery gone wrong, just a robbery where he tried to defend his store and his product. Somebody who sold, like, comics and memorabilia, entertainment stuff. And some dude came into the store, basically, did the whole browse around, snatched up a bunch of stuff, and then ran. And the guy chased him down, and the guy managed to make it. The robber managed to make it to his car and start to drive off. Now he drove off with the quickness because this dude chased him with the gun, and he said, give me my stuff back, or else, I'm gonna ventilate you. So unfortunately, when he got to the car, the driver started, and then the store owner grabbed the the door handle, and was banging on the glass with the gun, give me my stuff back, stop the car, get out. And the dude just pulled it in reverse, and the driver was dragged a little, hit his head, and unfortunately did not survive the injuries.
Wow.
But he's the one who had the gun.
He is the one that had the gun. He was defending his property, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but it's like how much product did he take? Like, what's the value of that? You know what I mean? To chase a guy down with a gun.
Yeah, was it really worth it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming.
I mean, I get it. Like, I would want to defend my store too, and like, there's no room for getting jacked, but I don't want to chase a guy down, blocks with a gun either.
I mean, we can probably presume it was something, whatever it was, however much it was worth it.
Yeah, but I mean, is it worth like your life, and is it worth taking a life? Because you seem pretty determined with a gun chasing someone down too. So like, what's the end result of that?
I'm someone who's really into these things, and I assume you have to be into these things to start a store. So I think we're on some same level of of kinship there. And what I'm getting at is I'm lazy. So if somebody grabs about $5 worth of books, let them have
thought about it, like, sit back down.
At the same time,
should I run? Should I not run?
But if they're grabbing a fistful or an armful of rare issues,
yeah, but you don't keep those by the door, You
don't keep those by the door. But then again, this dude robbed the place. I'm assuming he scoped it out. He knew where the most valuable stuff was.
I guess, yeah.
He could have done a counter jump while the dude was on the other side helping a customer.
I'm just thinking about how my friend Glenn owns Magic Dragon Comics over in Arlington, which is a kind of a similar style of just a collectible memorabilia comic book shop, usually staffed by only one, maybe two people at most at a time. And this really made me think about the kind of things that he has in his shop and like that could have happened. And there's a case that has, $100 more than $200 figurines in it. And if somebody knew what to grab and had cased it beforehand, you could make out with thousands of dollars of stuff. It's specific, I'm thinking about also like Midtown Comics is a great example in New York City. They have $400 or $500 figurines there.
Yeah, but you also got to figure like where are they going to sell this to that you can't like track it. You know what I mean? If you report that.
Oh, you easily could. You easily could sell any of that online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Tor browser is a wonderful thing, my friend.
Yeah.
It leads you to a whole new world of anonymity.
I think this whole thing gives a better view into how struggling small businesses are.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure, the amount of profit that a store like that makes is not that high. So that's probably why he chose to chase the guy down. At least that's what my assumption would be.
That's why you need the mob.
Every little thing matters to him.
Yeah, that's what made me think about my friend Glenn. Just I know the kind of way he operates his shop, and it's walking on the edge of a knife. That if somebody came in and stole, maybe even just $500 worth of merchandise, that could be you making rent that month.
Yeah, see, and I know every time I've cased Glenn's store, I never took anything.
Shout out Glenn, we will not rob you.
He has that star metal sword by the door there. So, no, I know Magic Dragon, and yeah, you make a very good point. It's like if this person grabbed, it could have been like, $5,000 worth of stuff. That's like 4, really rare issues. Maybe this store was one of the lucky ones that was, that had a couple of amazing fantasies, in stock.
Right.
Yeah, but there are stores who have things like that are either up by the register even. Like, you don't know. We don't have specifics of this guy. Like, he could grab something crazy.
Just as an example, though, it would make it worth it to chase him down. But also, self-preservation is a thing. You have to think about that, but also that I don't want to get too far off our actual point. Are these stores easier targets because of that?
Absolutely. I think so wholeheartedly, because you're talking about a small business. Now, they're not going to have the type of security, the type of insurance, any of that you're going to have in a corporate location. So when you're talking about one of these small stores, I mean,
like I said, it is usually manned by one person.
Right,
you know what I mean? You got to assume they
do
probably think they're not going to chase them down.
Yeah.
That'll be the owner.
Especially with a gun in a comic book shop.
Backup.
Those are usually communities too. You go to the local comic shop or game store, you see a lot of the same people in there all the time. So you have a sense of security, I think, as a shop owner, that your clientele for the most part.
Well, see, I think that would make it less likely then. I'm from the city where it's like, people get robbed all the time. You don't know they're anonymous, so, you keep your thing handy. But in a community where folks, your regular customers, anyone new that comes in, you may want to keep an eye on them. Or at the very least, this is Philip. He comes in here, twice a week for the last 20 years. I'm pretty sure he's going to come in and get his pack of gum, stay, lose around the magic, and then take off.
Right.
You know, and then some new guy comes in. He's got a zoot suit on. He's shuffling a deck of cards. I don't know what criminals look like these days.
Well, that's exactly right. That's
Do you own anything that would make you give chase with a gun?
Me?
If somebody was to rob it?
I do own a few things, yeah.
They would immediately grab a gun and chase after the guy?
Well, I wouldn't grab a gun. None of my guns are lethal.
Mm.
I would grab a couple of practice scimitars I have.
My love gun, yeah.
I don't know. It just seems more badass chasing down with a sword.
Didn't we talk about a story where someone stopped a robbery with a sword?
We glossed over it. It wasn't a full story.
But
yeah,
I remember
that happened.
this.
Yeah, a guy tried to rob a store with a machete.
It was Adrian
He didn't realize
Paul.
that.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that behind the counter.
He had a larger knife.
Dude,
Yeah,
exactly.
I remember
The owner
that.
pulls out a samurai sword. Mine is bigger. I win.
You pull a Crocodile Dundee.
Exactly.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Beautiful. And I love the fact they had the footage from multiple angles, so you got to see the whole thing. The guy comes in, give me the register. The guy's like, no.
Cuts his sword in half.
He's like, you offended my family. He's like, whoa, buddy, I just want some gum.
Yeah, it's
I think
unfortunate
in a
that the
small
guy passed away in this.
Yeah, that's the real tragedy
Yeah.
here. The fact that it was a loss of life, and we don't even know for how much. We can only assume it was for high value stuff. But if this was just sentimental value for the guy, maybe he opened his store with just one long box and a dream, and it was all crappy 25-cent.
I think part of it too is like, how dare this guy? This guy's really going to rob me. I just want to punish him in some way too, not just like that stuff's worth something.
Well,
He's
that's kind of
emotionally
what
this guy can't
invested
get away
that's
in
what I was
the store
bringing up my
owner.
friend's store.
You know?
It's like, I know that, he only really has like one employee. It's his baby. This is his whole, he has this store. And honestly, I could see my friend doing the same thing, like I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of the store owner.
What kind of samurai swords is Glenn packing there?
I am not at liberty to discuss what kind of samurai swords
Okay,
Glenn
so
has.
what kind of-
I am at liberty to discuss that he was in the army, so I can
it's
say
like that.
don't go rob the Magic Dragon.
Okay, so
folks.
what kind of
Don't try.
solid snake ridiculous Thomas rifles does he have behind there?
I mean, again, I have no idea what you're speaking of. He's a gentle soul who runs a comic book store.
I'm stealing these My Little Pony figures, old man.
But
Pulls
jokes
out a
aside,
Nikita rocket
it makes
launcher.
me think less about the monetary value of these items, and as we were discussing, more just the slight that this gentleman may have felt to have had his business abused in this manner, and was he right to chase this man with a weapon? I'm not going to conjecture on that, and most likely no. But it still is this position where, again, either for monetary reasons, maybe this would have been a big hit to them, or even just pride. I can understand how somebody who has this business that is their whole life, and to have someone come in and, abuse that, it can make someone very quick to anger. And again, it's very unfortunate how things played out, but I can absolutely see how somebody would do this, how somebody would say, not today, and I'm coming after you.
I was to say, I can actually share with you, I used to be a retail manager at a business, and I was robbed, actually. I was the person who was robbed when I was making a deposit.
Wow. Okay. How many Fabergé eggs did they take?
Yeah, just 3.
The Yankee Candle, sorry.
And that's how Costco was founded.
But no, the reason I bring it up is because I was part of a corporate retail environment, right? And when I got robbed, my adrenaline levels shot up to such ridiculous levels that I didn't know what to do with them, and I had a hard time reacting right away. Once I came to and understood what was happening,
You Mortal Kombat his head off.
yeah, I would like to say that I Scorpioned him and pulled out the spinal cord, but what really happened was I handed him the money and then left. But I can only imagine, because of the adrenaline that I was feeling at that time, what it would have been like if it was my place. I think it would have been a totally different scenario, because I probably could have ran a marathon right then, and I'm not. You guys might not be able to see me, but I am not a marathon running man. I don't have the figure for it.
Well, if they're watching us on twitch.tv
right.
/ the Geek Down, they can.
Yes. Well, but I mean, I could have done anything in that moment. And, like I said, once I came to, I just handed it over. But if it was my business, as much as I know the right thing to do, I think, is you let it go, because your life's more important than anything. Might have had a hard time.
It just seemed like he had the gun, so he was probably going to use it. You know what I mean? So, like, what if, like, the guy chased him down and it was like, whatever it was, the monetary value of the comics, like, he killed that guy for it.
Well,
you know what I mean? That'd be a completely.
He just wants his.
Well,
stuff
you don't know that. He had a gun. He was chasing a guy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We could play.
Right. I don't have
he was the victim. He certainly was of getting robbed, but that's still chased a guy down with a gun.
Yeah, if somebody has a gun,
badass. I'm sorry. You think. Like, if a comic book store owner, I automatically flash to the dude from The Simpsons.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like this
But-
dude called
Worst
my
robbery ever.
Exactly.
We know that wouldn't have happened to him. He wouldn't have gotten up from behind the counter.
Well, I don't know. At some point, he became like Dwayne Johnson behind the counter. It's like, it's like I will chase you down and eat your soul.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for one episode. Change the next week.
All right. Well, anyways, if you have anything to say on this subject, hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com and chime in. Or also, you can go right to the website and hit us in the comment section at geek-down.com. Jeez, dude. I can't imagine a smooth transition to follow up such a serious
We can
news story
just roll with it, Pat.
Okay.
We can just go right into it. I can just
So
say
Mix
it.
Macabre, you got to check out a
Boobs.
very special.
And we're there.
Talking, of course,
I did it for you.
Oh, appreciate it. Talking, of course, about Bloody Boobs.
Boobs. I said I was going to say it as much as I could, Pat.
No, go for it.
Boobs.
So you got to check out the messy fun bags.
What were you going to say again as much as you could?
Boobs.
Oh,
sir.
okay.
Boobs.
Jeez, I'm gonna work.
So, Pat suggested kindly to me that I check out this game called Bloody Boobs. It's available on Steam now for only $3.
No, it doesn't sound like something I do. This is your own initiative.
It's worth every penny, guys. So I'm not gonna beat around the boobs here. It's a game where you play as a bikini-clad hottie. You wake up in a dungeon space filled with horrible eldritch beings, and your goal is to sneak around this hellish complex and find these penile structures that you have to worship. This giant phallus man. It's very, it's very demure and subtle game. So you have to find these 4 pillars, and if you bow down and worship to them, eventually a gateway to escape appears.
Oh, sweet.
And
Pause. Can I ask where this game was made?
I couldn't figure it out. It's just the developer is just like some dude's name, and it links to nothing else.
Of course. Yeah.
So it's really just like a labor of love from this one dude. So thanks, guy.
A labor of love.
So what makes this game so
That's the way
great,
to
though,
put it.
is that it has not only boob physics, but booty physics.
No
Booty
kidding.
physics. I
So
like it.
it has the character designer with the so you can have your boobs come in various sizes from large to jumbo, and you can also change her outfit. She can
My
be
personal
wearing a
favorite
pink
are the rare
bikini.
miniatures.
Well, unfortunately, Pat, that's not available in this game.
Oh, well, expansion pack.
They only have spicy and extra
Downloadable
spicy.
content.
It's like a Russ Meyer video.
So yes, exactly.
I also want to point out I did get the irony of expansion pack. Okay, continue.
So you can make her wear anything from a demure string bikini to a full-on bondage outfit, which was of course my choice. And then you can
Wait, can I give her the B. Arthur?
unfortunately not.
What are they doing here?
But you can also change her skin tone, which I appreciate that a wide array of skin tones. This is not a joke. They had more skin tone choices than most RPGs. So shout out to you, Bloody Boobs, for your inclusivity. They also
Yes,
you could
'cause
put
Bloody Boobs is
you
the-
could
is the
of course
place to
you
go
could
for
also put a
progressive
bag over her
gameplay.
head if you wanted. I mean, it's not a very respectful game. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. You could make her wear a surgical mask. You could make her wear like a raver kind of mask. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and
Paper bag.
What about an
Yeah.
evil clown?
exactly.
We have
An
that?
evil clown.
Sadly,
You have
no
an
evil clown options. But
Okay,
like,
pause. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I
no,
just
that's
have
fine.
to. I just have to know. What did your unit look like?
Okay, so I gave mine the lightest skin that she could have, which just because I wanted her to be super
Aryan.
super goth. Yes, that's why Pat exactly, because everyone knows that's exactly what I do.
No, okay, so it was clear skinned. Yes.
Not that goths don't come in all colors, of course.
They come in translucent. I've
But-
seen them.
I could feel my best friend already ready to message me for implying that there are not POC goths. I can feel her, and it's already happening.
My dating history
Sorry,
tells you
Kaylee.
I'm okay with God.
So, anyway, so I gave her really, really light skin, and I gave her black hair, and then I put her in the bondage outfit, and then I put a paper bag on her
No.
because it's funny, Pat. So again, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is some feminist masterpiece, but it is
Bloody boobs?
completely
No.
ridiculous. Well, here's the thing: it's
Yeah.
completely ridiculous,
Mhm.
and for a game like this, I don't want to say it was respectful, but I have to say it was not insulting in the manner that I went into this game going, all right, this is going to be horrendous and insulting. And you know what? It was just completely absurd. One of the monsters that comes after you is just like a giant wolf man with a huge ball sack. Just flop it around, Pat. Just flippity giblets. But do you know
I'm
what I'm saying?
definitely going to play this game.
It's really, really fun and funny. But what I'm saying is,
Was
you
his
go.
name Balzac?
You can name him whatever you like. He unfortunately did not have a name.
Ah.
But and other creatures are scurrying things with many weird mouths, and it was actually quite well designed. And the levels are all this dungeon map that was much more expansive than I thought it would be. Again, this was truly a labor of loving boobs, and it's just one of those games that I went into it expecting. Again, I kind of thought, all right, it's gonna be really bad, and it wasn't. This bikini clad character shuffling around this dirty dungeon, but there's honestly, other than her appearance, there's really nothing overtly insulting or sexist.
So it just seems like more of like a extreme appreciation.
Yeah, it's just super goofy. Rosemary is a perfect thing to mention. It just had this like faster pussycat element.
Right.
Just, all right, she's got big old boobs and she's trying to escape this dungeon and worship this, phallic overlord. But there's nothing overtly sexual about it other than the fact that she sneaks around low to the ground. You can make her boobs jiggle, you can make her butt bounce, but none of the characters do anything untoward. There's no conversations really in it. If you lose, you just end up back in a different part of the dungeon to kind of start over.
Well, everything you're telling me sounds
it's just enjoyable.
Kind of boring if you're not specifically a boob person.
It's
well, it's got the booty too.
Yeah, it has the booty.
It's covered from both sides.
Pat, it has the booty. It absolutely has the booty.
I didn't acknowledge the advanced mode.
But yeah, there's not really anything else to it though. You're just escape the dungeon. You have to worship 4 phallic statues to open the gateway to win the game. And that's it. There's not much more to it. You can't even really defend yourself. You just have to avoid the creatures. But it's actually really fun because the creatures are kind of dumb. So if I see a creature, you can back up into a tunnel and just hang out there and it'll walk right past you.
So is this more Metal Gear Solid style?
Yeah, unfortunately, instead of being inside of a box, you can just put a paper bag on someone's head.
Wait. Okay, I may have missed something. Is this to hide? You literally stand there, put a paper bag over your head?
No, it's just aesthetically.
Okay,
it's just an aesthetic choice, Pat.
I would have bought this game immediately.
The game
paused the show.
It does not have depth at all.
Yeah, no. But overall, I would say it's well worth $3 American.
Mm-hmm.
And it just it's very silly. There's nothing else to it. And again, I have to say, for having low expectations, it exceeded my expectations. It was just, a booby good time. Full of boobs. I mean,
like I said, I'm sold.
It's just, half the fun is just creating the character, big boobs, small boobs, big boobs, small boobs. You just sit there,
so
clicking it back and forth.
Okay, so I got to know then, replay value?
Not low replay value, just because, it's only
big
really
boobs,
one thing.
Boob.
Yeah,
that's a replay.
You can make it with bigger boobs. You make it with smaller boobs.
Would you make additional characters just for the character development? I mean, that sort of sounds like maybe the main attraction.
Yeah, you get all the skin tone colors, right?
For the price, it's worth $3. It's very silly. What? If you want to just have a silly time and enjoy this goofy booby game.
I have to interject here.
You have to interject?
Have you played this game, sir?
I have seen this game played.
Have you enjoyed playing this game, though?
I have not.
So you
played
watched
this
the
game.
guy play the boob game?
And are you a boob man?
All right. So I am a boob man, but this game is absolute garbage.
Wow, that is.
I appreciate your opinion on this game you have not played. However, the reviewer of this game, fully enjoyed it.
I question your dedication to the chesticles.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying your recommendation for this game is.
So everyone who enjoys fun can play Bloody Boobs.
I'm coming at it from a different perspective in that this game is a asset flipping game.
Mm-hmm. Asset flopping, got you.
And that the effort that went into making this game is very much drag and drop, if you will, with a bunch of purchased or grab for free tools. This is one of the many examples. Now it's done a little bit better than the others that are on Steam, but this is one of those games that should not exist on Steam because it is flooding the market and causing many problems with Steam and with the Steam community. I can't praise this out of that principle, but if you want to play a game, as Amy has described, then this is it.
Okay, so what is the better platform for a game like Bloody Boobs?
None.
No.
It's a game
so
that
if
should
you
not exist.
want to have fun and play this boob game where you run away from demons with giant balls, play Bloody Boobs.
I'm going to play it.
I just want to see these giant boobs and balls.
Yeah.
Giant boobs. Giant balls.
Sounds like a good
he's like a
phone
Tanuki
game.
demon. It's wonderful.
This is what I'm for my gameplay.
Wait, can you edit the booty size?
You can edit.
Oh wow, sold.
You can,
Just
and
brought
while
that
you
in.
edit it, it will
I mean, the
jiggle.
boobs and the butt, no, it's got to be.
Man, I'm gonna flood the
How do you know if
with
you
so
don't-
many
they don't
lime green skinned,
Mhm.
purple haired, huge butted.
I want it to look like a Guillermo
tiny-
del Toro
tiny
character.
tatas.
With these.
That's actually the,
huge
the
cans.
characters
said
in the
there are
game.
no
The monsters
tiny.
in the game are
It's
very
large
Del
to
Toro.
Really?
jumbo.
Oh, well, okay. Well, as small as I
Marshall.
can make them, which I'm assuming is a triple H. All right.
No,
I
that's a
like
wrestler
sounds.
pad.
All right. Mr. Cobb, thank you very much.
My
Bloody
pleasure.
Boobs, it's on Steam right now.
Yep, it's $3. It's a play the game that's ruining Steam. Bloody boobs.
All right, and I highly encourage you to take some gameplay videos, send them in. You can find us. Just email them if you can fit them at geekdownradio@gmail.com.
It's about ethics in game journalism.
Oh my god.
All right, we just started Boobgate. All right, and with that on that prestigious note, that brings us to our illustrious guest in house tonight. Once again, I want to welcome Chris and Deneb, proprietors of Reliable Bud,
Yes.
who brings you the Geek Down tonight. Will you guys give us the lowdown on what is Reliable Bud?
Yeah, well, thank you again for having us here. We're really excited to share what Reliable Bud is about. Reliable Bud came from an idea that I had a few years back, being a cannabis lover. And being a traveling engineer, an IT engineer, I always had a hard time locating a reliable source of bud. As a matter of fact, I got myself in a lot of different situations.
Like reliable dealing with the people who are selling it, or like just what you're actually buying.
What I'm buying
Right.
and what the
Little bit of
people.
both.
Yeah, of course.
And
Little bit of
actually,
both.
definitely both. So how many times have you been caught in a new place? You don't have connections.
17.
You don't know exactly.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
A million times. So one day I just got fed up and I said, you know what? There's got to be an app for this. There's got to be an app for me to be able to find someone who's growing their stuff at home, someone who's making their edibles at home, who's got, connections, who's got reviews, who's got legitimate stuff where you don't have to be worrying about where am I getting it from? Is this person going to kill me? Am I going to go to a really scary place? Just simple questions like that I thought a lot of my friends in the IT industry, when we traveled, we always had kind of the same issue. So that's where Reliable came about. I recruited a bunch of my friends and family to kind of help me out with this.
Yo.
Chris right here was one of my first recruits and who's believed in the vision. And, he and along with a group of friends, we set to become, for it to become a reality. So I'll let Chris talk a little bit about the app.
Yeah, so we've, like Deneb said, we started out with an idea of hers, and we're excited now that that idea is really coming to life. So the most exciting news we have right now is that our app has released. The Reliable Bud app is now live on Google Play and iOS.
Nice.
It's in its beta version.
It is.
So please understand that if you do download this, we are definitely looking for feedback,
We're a community-based app, and we want to make sure that we want to support the community in Massachusetts and in Maine. We're mainly launching it in New England because this is where we are and this is what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, we want to go to all the recreational states and the medical states, and we want to make kind of get the feedback from everybody, see what your needs are as a local home grower, as a can craftsman, as an entrepreneur. As many of those, feedback that we can get is really what we're looking for to get the word out.
Yep.
So you can join this app as sellers and as seekers, basically?
Yes,
So, okay.
you're going to be able to register, and some of the lingo is still being worked out. Like I said, we're in the beta version, so that's still being updated. But I think right now it gives you the option to register as a farmer or a buyer. And the two accounts, the way that they're different is that if you're a buyer, you're on there to browse. Okay, you don't have any storefront, you can't post any goods. You can just see what's available in your local area.
And you can review any products.
Right. You can review anything. So when we say anything, what's going to happen is if you register as a farmer on our page, you're going to have the ability to post goods that you can sell legally right now. As we all know, you're not allowed to sell any cannabis products, but you can sell accessories, you can sell services. Lots of people out there who are setting up grow houses for people, setting up grow houses for patients, helping people out with nutrient balances and stuff like that. They can post those services for sale through the site. And then we also have the ability for people to post items that are not for sale. These are all your can of crafts. So somebody's got a grow operation. They want to highlight the different strains that they're providing. Post them all up there. And then the way that laws are written right now, you're allowed to gift product, right? So people that grow will oftentimes give it to their friends. They'll give it to, if they're If they know a patient or something and they have their own grow, they'll hook them up with a strain that's going to help out the needs that they have, so they can post all those items. People can go on and review them. Yeah. So as the market continues to evolve, people are going to be able to build up a user base of all different product reviews from their different strains.
And we want to help the everyday person be able to get kind of like street credit, I guess you'd say, for, I know I met so many guys who say, oh, I got the best stuff, or I have the best stuff here. And I'm like, well, you gotta try it, and, you gotta review it, and you gotta really see what you're trying. So we want to give the people the opportunity to get their stuff rated and to get our name out there. Because we have multi-tour friends, I'm sure you guys have too, who grow their own stuff and make their own stuff, and they have some really legitimate, good stuff.
I'm not going to say anything to that effect on air, but I'm going to give you a wink over here.
Yep. But one of the other big features of the app that we got a lot of excitement at over when we were at our recent convention was the fact that we have a secure messaging platform built right into it. So one of the things that we've heard, and we've been hearing this a lot from people who are caregivers and patients especially, that they're kind of pigeonholed into whatever strains they have. Well, our app's going to have a secure messaging feature in it. So if you're registered as a farmer, you're going to be able to reach out to other farmers who have posted their products and say, hey, I see you have, this strain. I'm really looking for that. Any chance you'd be willing to gift me a clone?
Okay.
And that way you can start to build that social networking piece through it and get the strains that people are looking for in their hands.
And you think people would travel for these certain strains? Well, are you the type to go like?
Absolutely.
Oh, people definitely would.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a new thing because when I used to do it, it'd be like you just took whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, that's with a regular user, but the cannabis industry's evolved so much,
right?
That people are starting to really become educated. If you're trying to go to sleep at night, you don't want to be smoking sativas, and if that's all you've got your hands on and that's all that successfully grew out of your crops, what are you going to do? You might need that indica to bring you down at the end of the night. So this is a way for people to be able to get that out there. And something else that's actually really exciting, because we're launching our event, our app, we're hosting a Bring Your Own Cannabis event.
I remember that.
Yep, we're going to be hosting that on June. What's that?
I said, do go on.
Yeah, it's going to be on June 10th. It's at Camp Marshall in Spencer, Massachusetts. It's from 1 to 6 p.m. And like I said, it's a Bring Your Own Cannabis event. So legally speaking, you're allowed to bring up to an ounce of cannabis goods with you.
Yeah,
exactly. BYOB, BYOC.
We'll actually be there.
Yeah.
You guys have graciously offered us the opportunity to actually broadcast live from the event.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, we're looking forward to it a lot. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have raffles, giveaways.
We're featuring local vendors, and that's really one of the biggest highlights that we want to do. I really wanted to make sure that this platform demystified the cannabis industry. So a lot of the times you don't want to get a source of cannabis because you don't know the person or you've never met them before. So these BYOC events will really serve a way for you to connect with the people so that you know the product that you're getting. You'll get to
it's kind of like a farmer's market.
Yes.
More or less.
Market for cannabis. It's exactly
it's a great
the
idea.
I also like the concept of being able to rate and review.
Yeah, like a Yelp for weed too.
Right. Everyone got that. Dude, I got the best stuff. Trust me. It's like, dude, you have no reviews, no
35
backup.
people.
It's also very interesting to
blue book I can
weenies
check here.
like me that don't know anything about weed. So
Exactly.
Every weed guy I've ever
green.
dealt with has said the same thing. Mine's the best stuff, man.
It's fire.
It's always
fire.
Exactly.
Trust
if
me, man, I
anyone
know
told me
looks
that
like
it
a
was
bunch of
fire, I would
dandelions.
leave. I'd be like, I don't need that.
No, I hear you.
You're not my guy.
But yeah, I even have some of my friends that come over to my house and they bring their own stuff that they grow at home. I have one of the guys that's actually on the app, a really good friend of mine, has Lake Lost Kush.
Yeah.
He calls it. Oh my goodness. Mind blown. But he has no way to anybody ever review his stuff. He gives it out all the time, but there's no way for anybody to know how good it is. So, for a person like him, and there's many, many people like that out there, this app would work for them to be able to get reviews on their great products and stuff that you really pour your, heart and love into growing some of these plants and putting special attention into the crafts that you make. I think this is going to be a really good tool for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you said you launched it. What's the response been so far?
It's been taken off. I mean, we launched our social media pages not that long ago.
We launched on 420.
Yeah, unfortunately.
How fortuitous.
Timing is everything. But we've shot up to over 250 followers just on the initial go, and we haven't even had our first event yet.
Yeah, we haven't been out for a month, but it's, we've had a lot of people come up to us for investment opportunities, everything, all that kind of sort. I mean, this is solely funded and coded by me, right?
Wow.
So we really had no help from anybody. So now we're getting all this attention from people that are, starting to take a look at the application. So it's been really gratifying for all of us as a group and as a family to get the feedback from a lot of people and say, hey, this is a tool that we really need. This is a tool that could really help us. So it's groundbreaking, and it's actually been a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, seems like it makes sense.
All right, one thing I want to know: how do you expand something like this? Like, if I'm one of your customers, but I'm on vacation, I'm like halfway across the country, and I come across somebody who may actually want to get their product on your listings there. Will they be able to is it sign up or apply through the app?
Yeah, the beautiful thing is the app can be as far-reaching as users start to sign up. So if you have friends or family in another area and you like what the app's about and the idea behind it, they can download it, they can set it up, they can start promoting. Because like I said, we give the option to post items that are not for sale. So all those can of crafts that people are working on, they'll list them there. But you got people, all over the country who are making custom glassware, who are doing nutrient blends and doing all this other stuff. You can market it anywhere. Yeah. So as people start going into different areas and word of mouth keeps traveling and more and more people get on it, I mean there's really no limit to where you're going to be able to get it. And it's location based too. It has a total location based feature. So if you're from out of town and you come out to Massachusetts and you download the app and sign in, it's going to see where you are and it's going to pop up with whatever's available in your area.
Weed Uber.
Yeah, we do.
More or less. We're really hoping to, we're still pretty early on in where the cannabis laws are, and there's a lot that has to be hashed out as far as what the market's going to look like when you're able to sell it. We're going to position people who adopt it early to succeed later, big time, because you can build up a clientele, you can build up a user review base. If all of a sudden, like a year from now, 2 years from now, everybody can start selling it, and it's like a farmer's market. Well, what's your brand? How do people know who you are? How do people know what you got?
Well, what's cool about this also is, from what I'm getting, it also helps facilitate safety.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't seem so much like the Wild West.
Yes.
Yep.
And once as it expands, more people will be able to feel they have an organized system.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kind of the way we wanted to set a standard to make sure that what you're getting and bartering and gifting back and forth had some legitimacy to it.
Right. Yeah. And again, we're in the beta version of the app, but as it continues to progress, we already have plans to implement verified buyers.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to, if somebody makes a purchase, it's going to be able to tell you when they leave their review, this is a verified purchase of this product. And we're hoping to be able to do the same thing for gifting. If you're gifting somebody something, that you'll be able to give them a code that they'll be able to then in turn leave a verified, I got this product. So then you're actually seeing what people who experienced it really feel about it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, I'm jazzed, man. So give our listeners once again the info on how they can get down with this.
All right. So what you want to remember to do is follow us on any of the social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
MySpace.
That'd be cool.
He caught us. Not all of them.
We got Mass Roots.
Yeah, we got Mass Roots. We got Snapchat. Follow us on there. We are reliablebud.com, the website. You can search us on iOS and Google Play as Reliable Bud, all one word. And again, the event is going to be taking place on June 10th in Spencer, Massachusetts at Camp Marshall, 1 to 6 p.m. I also want to let you know right now, if you sign up, RB Buddy is going to give you $20 off tickets to the event. And the event price is only $30 originally. So for $10 plus the Eventbrite processing fee, which is like $2, you can come on out to the event, bring up to an ounce of cannabis goods with you, and share and enjoy. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you one of these.
Hey,
Right there. Love it.
And bring your best buds.
Bring your best
both
buds.
ways, your friends and your buds.
That's right.
Kristen, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And also look out for us. We'll be there. The Geek Down will be broadcasting live. Dude, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully an awesome time.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah,
All right.
Great.
Also, if you have any more information or you want to chime in on your thoughts or your particular strains and recipes, hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com. I am whoring out that email address. All right, now, dude, I need to hear the inside information on Alien Covenant. I'm upset.
Speaking of weird phallic objects.
I am upset that you are the only one that got to check it out. I'm turning it over to just Johnny.
Yeah.
Who's going to lay it on us?
Oh, man. Alien Covenant. All right. So you take Alien and Prometheus and you smash the two together and you get Alien Covenant.
That is awesome. Thank you very much, Johnny.
Now,
I like that. I like that.
So it's all right. So Prometheus, I'm not gonna lie, I love Prometheus, but I recognize a lot of people do not like. See,
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. You're not alone. I love that movie
I love
too.
Prometheus too.
It is a very divisive movie.
I fist pounded, for God's sake.
Can't take it back. It happened.
And one of the biggest complaints that people had with Prometheus is that it left a lot of unanswered questions. Actually, a ton of unanswered questions, and it left you wanting more.
Yeah, how did this get made? You know, where do they get funding for this? Who sold their soul? So many questions.
And also, it didn't have the scary atmosphere and things of that nature like all the other Alien movies, what you'd come to expect. And that was sort of the problems with that. And they essentially answered that part, the scary sort of thriller type of thing, and the atmosphere itself, and also a bunch of those unanswered questions from Prometheus. So it's essentially the best of both worlds. And it still asks a few more questions that it leaves unanswered, so that you kind of want more. And they are absolutely going to be doing a sequel, because I heard in an interview from Ridley Scott himself that said he's actively working on another one.
Why?
But it's from this one. All right, so Prometheus.
Yeah.
All right, you might not like it. Check this one out if you are an Alien fan, because this will bring you right back in.
Okay, all right.
So it's a return to the sci-fi horror?
It's a return to sci-fi horror, but it's still Prometheus-y.
Okay.
Because it's still... So it has those moments in Prometheus where it's like...
Garbage? Yes, we know.
Like, what's the word?
Trash.
Pretentious?
Yeah. Okay.
With its, like, intellectual dialogue.
Prolapsed.
So it has that, too. And so you'll kind of deal with that. But it's not bad. It's not good. It's just...
Terrible. Yes, we know.
It's just part of what it is.
Okay. So what you're telling me then is it's more related to Prometheus than it is the rest of the Alien franchise.
It takes Prometheus, which was kind of an offshoot, and it takes the original Alien, and it holds them both by the hands and says, "Now we're joined."
Jeez. Oh, okay.
That's
then
what it does.
Okay,
but with like alien tail, tentacle, armor.
No, we got it. Acid spotting penises. We're aware.
Lots of acid. Lots of acid.
Okay, here's my question then, and this is something that's bugged me for a long time. Every Alien movie, good or bad, has taken on the same formula. We have aliens, and we have some wayward humans in a dark, enclosed space.
Yep.
And then they're just hunted by one or by several aliens, and it's never strayed too far from that formula. The farthest away it's gotten was maybe Alien Resurrection, where even then you had it was mostly about that pirate crew, but
the worst one.
What Alien Resurrect? You know what? I agree with you. It was bad.
Yep.
But it was bad because it was an alien movie. Had it been just a sci-fi monster movie about that pirate crew, it would have been the shit.
I can appreciate that. I felt
Somebody
that
with
way
taste.
about some movies, where I'm like, this is a terrible representation of the franchise, but if I forget that it's part of this, I can enjoy it.
You appreciate that pinky thing?
That pinky? Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying I can appreciate what he's trying to convey about it. That's
Adam, why are you so silent over there? You're supposed to
I
have
just want no part of this. No, your movie sucks. Your movie sucks.
Oh,
I
come
like this one. I want that one.
What do we do every week?
I get it. I like I said, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this movie. I didn't particularly like Prometheus, but I did not hate it in any way. I thought the visuals were fantastic. The story was a little weak, but it was great to look at. So,
you're in store for more
That's
visuals.
literally all of Alien is poopy vaginas and slug creatures.
No, Alien is like venom spouting.
Poopy vaginas.
More of a predator guy, I guess. I don't know.
No. The
penises burst out of the chests.
The penises do.
Yes.
The vagina is like, okay, I'm a scientist. I've trained for years. I'm experienced in the field. Yet I see some random thing come up. I'm gonna get.
This is the legacy of
Well,
Alien.
you're gonna
Common
be
sense
in
out the
for
window.
you're gonna be in for a few surprises because there's more than just chest bursting in this.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does it come out of their boobs?
It finds new places to come out from. Yeah.
Was I actually foreshadowing with that prolapse comment? Just out
No answer that.
Who knows? Who
Okay,
knows? Watching, you'll
some
find
poor
out.
guy goes to the spaceship proctologist and then has a very bad time.
So you brought it up earlier. It is a little. It does follow that formula of a group of people being kind of stranded and being chased around. It does follow that formula a little bit, so it does seem like you've watched it more or less. But
Well, that's a negative.
that is a little bit of a negative. But it is. There's also those elements of Prometheus dialogue. So there are those elements.
How's Danny McBride in this one? He's in this, right? Yeah.
Oh, really?
If I knew who that was, then I
He's
would.
the funny guy from all those
Kenny
movies.
Powers,
He's Kenny
right?
Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, does he have the curly hair?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he was a pilot, I believe. He was good. All the actors, especially Fassbender, and the main one of the main characters.
Sigourney Weaver.
I forgot her name.
Sigourney Weaver.
She's like the main one. She was exceptional. She was the wife of what's his name? He had to like chop off his arm in one of those movies, 148 hours or whatever.
Oh,
James Franco.
James Franco.
Dame Judi Dench.
Yes.
Dench, yes.
Yes. So James Franco, he's like, this is not a spoiler. He like dies in the first like 30 seconds of the movie.
Oh man.
That is what one would call a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler though.
If I wasn't
If
gonna
you
see
say
this
it's
movie,
not
I
a
would see it
spoiler,
now.
it's
Yeah,
still a spoiler.
Well, I think
It's
what we're
like
going to know, was it a
you don't
gross
watch the
form of
movie
death?
for that. You don't even.
No,
I didn't even know. He was
I
in
would
there.
kind of go to a movie just to see James Franco
That's-
die horribly.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
don't- you don't even
Did you ever
see
see
him.
that Tom Cruise movie where he dies over and over again?
Yes!
I watched
Live,
that
Die,
more than once
Edge of
just
Tomorrow
to see
is one
him
of
die
our
a bunch of
favorite
times.
movies.
Wait, is that what
That
it's
movie's
about?
great.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it. Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like going home to
He
watch
dies
it.
No, that
Yeah.
movie is like. the
I'm
best
just gonna
movie
put
ever.
it on mute and
Yeah.
just watch the movie.
Well, it's
Well-
a completely unimportant character, and you don't even see James Franco's face until
Until
in
he's
a
dead.
picture afterwards.
I
when
kinda
he's-
Pat's a Francophile, so
Yeah.
he'll be watching
Why
this.
it's like Jason. Is he coming back? What's going on? Did he live? Is he undead now?
If you want to,
okay. Alien
Yep.
Covenant. I actually am a fan of the franchise, and I would be extra hard on this one because I've just been hurt so many times. Is this for somebody who is a fan? Like Alien, great. Aliens, spectacular. Alien 3, what the hell were you thinking?
What?
Alien Resurrection,
Alien 3 is really
I can
good.
tolerate.
Alien 3 is
was
super
hot
good,
garbage.
Pat.
With the dog.
Resurrection
Come
was
on,
a bad
man.
one.
Oh, pfft.
Yeah.
And why did Charles S. Dutton have to go out so ugly?
All right.
Like, not just like alien biting him in the face,
put it
but then
into
they dumped hot
perspective-
lead on the man. And still, he was the most badass character in the universe. Who stands there and says, okay, guns couldn't kill it, rockets could, fire didn't kill it, I'm gonna stand here and slap box this thing while the rest of you get to safety.
Well, that's why it took
he
that to
toe-to-toed
kill him.
the sucker.
why do you think his death was so absurd? Because I mean, he's
Yeah, but I don't know. I felt
You're
someone
bringing him
who's
down.
going to that length deserves a little more respect. I'm just that's equivalent to
This
the
is what
Rock
fan
in,
fiction
in,
is
in,
for,
in,
Pat.
in the Fate of the Furious, punching a torpedo in the face.
You can fix it, Pat, in the magical world of fan fiction.
right.
He can live.
Okay, all right. Just Johnny. I'm sorry, I cut you off with my passion.
Yeah.
What's your final verdict, my
All
friend?
right. So, if you're looking for nostalgia of what would be a good alien movie, a modern day alien movie, this is it. But it's also going to be a bit predictable if you're a fan and you've seen the other alien movies. It'll be somewhat predictable, but you will get enough meaty substance out of it and and enough new stuff, and you'll also get some really spectacular shots in there as well. So I guess the biggest disappointment is probably the CG work on the alien itself. You see a lot of the aliens, so you see them full body, head to toe, in more than just a few shots. You see him pretty much head to toe throughout because they are CG.
Well, some of the best stuff in the other movies was practical effects. Not to harp on the old
Yep.
ones, but they did great
It's the
work.
fate of the horrible world now. Everything's CGI.
Maybe. All right. Well, okay. Bottom line: thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up. It's great.
All right, cool. This would be enough to get Adam Willis out.
How
to
many
see this.
phallic objects do you rate?
I rated
don't.
2 chest bursters out of 2.
Don't do that. I'd rate it 3 tumescents and 4 flacids.
Tumescent, Pat. Wonderful. Right up there with turgid.
Go undulating, but that'd be a little. This is taking a horrible turn.
Boom.
Okay, so we are nearing the end of our hour here, and I need to have a proper discourse with these fine individuals in this room because I thought I was alone in getting to see the masterpiece that is Prevenge, and apparently I'm not.
No.
Mix Macabre and Just Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and my homeboy Black Adam Willis.
I saw most of it. Yes.
It was just too raw for you. I understand.
Turned it off. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, the enthusiasm in this man's voice. Okay, we're talking, of course, about Prevenge. Now, Prevenge is a pitch black, wryly British comedy. That's what they call it. I didn't see much of the comedy element myself, but the movie is Prevenge. It follows Ruth. She's a pregnant woman on a killing spree. Now it's pretty much a misanthropic baby dictating Ruth's actions. Now, what this basically boils down to is the movie is about a pregnant woman who's being instructed by the baby in her belly, as pretty much like the devil on her shoulder, saying, kill these people. And I thought at the start of this movie it had a lot more direction, like she was maybe choosing ex-boyfriends that had wronged her, or she was choosing people that have maybe been in the news for committing crimes, or basically folks that she knew
You have a big
were
heart,
bad
Pat.
folks.
Yeah.
You have a big heart.
Hoping for the best.
It's my own
huh?
naivete, isn't it?
A little bit.
All right. Well, the movie is about a pregnant woman who's killing folks relatively indiscriminately, but then again, everything
How would
turns
the
out to be
baby
a
know that,
dick.
Pat? The baby can't watch the news.
Hey, this is a psychic baby that can speak from beyond, from since before birth.
Beyond
It is
either row.
capable of anything.
Maybe the
I'm
baby
just
knew
saying.
something you didn't know that they didn't tell you,
Yeah.
the audience. Maybe they were bad people.
All I'm thinking is
You
those
don't know.
prenatal vitamins must have been the shit. All right, but okay. So my impressions, I'll get to in a minute, but I want to know what the general opinions in the room are.
You
Okay. I thought it was good, but also try hardy.
Try Hardy.
Yep, try hardy.
Can you elaborate on Try Hardy for us?
It seemed
Like,
like
should
it
we
was.
sample Tom Hardy? Is
Yeah,
that
it seemed like
I
it
mean,
was
I'll do it.
trying too
Love his
hard
work. It's amazing.
to
Is he
hit
Warrior?
a
The
few.
cuts?
Trying too hard to hit like a few borrow heavily from a few other movies, like Drive. I don't know why Drive. I think it's because of some of the soundtrack in this,
No, it's 'cause she
where
stomped that
Drive
one
had
dude
that
out.
intensity with I forgot his name, but with that
Ryan
actor
Gosling.
and Ryan Gosling, and with the soundtrack, and it was sort of interwoven, like very nicely, tightly done. And they used a little bit of that, not that soundtrack, but that style of music, and did a lot of like music heavy, but nothing, and unspoken dialogue, and just things happening as you watch it with the with that music, that very moody music, but it just wasn't done as well, and it seemed like it was copying movies that did do that, and it was tryharding to be like that, only in certain scenes, only in certain elements, because then
You're describing
does,
a hack.
yeah, and then it does something opposite of that, and it didn't know what it wanted to be.
Okay, I have to disagree with you there. I think it knew what it wanted to be. The thing is, it didn't know how to execute that properly. Now, Adam,
that's I feel similarly
okay,
to that.
Well,
Just that I feel that it wasn't sure if it wanted to be a comedy or a serious horror film, and succeeded at neither.
yeah, I got those
Yeah,
too.
that's pretty much it. It just was like, what are you trying to do? Like, it's not like Serial Mom, where it's like, this is really dark,
And
but
I was
it
bummed
is
because I'm
kind of
very
funny.
here for
you
the
know?
premise. I'm very, very here for the premise.
It's like Krang, but you can't see the brain. You know what I mean? It's like something's operating from her stomach and she's like out of her body.
Yeah.
But it's,
It was okay. It's not. I mean, it's not terrible. There's certainly worse, but it just, it's meh. It's a hearty meh.
The Hardy Man.
It's a hearty meh. It's
It's-
a bleh.
That baby voice was so terrible.
Yeah,
Oh, you actually
it
hear
definitely
the
was
baby?
awkward. Yeah,
Yes,
so the
yeah,
baby
you.
can like kind of psychically communicate, if you will. Like
like, what trimester is she in?
Mumble.
She was pretty far along throughout the entire movie. And who broke it down for me earlier? Was that you? That the actress was actually pregnant. I didn't know this. I thought it was just a really good prosthetic they had on her. No, she was pregnant throughout the whole thing.
It's gonna be a great story. She can tell that child forever.
Well, the movie is.
You're the star of this.
It's not afraid to shy away from gore. That's the thing that got me. There's not that.
But you
many
have
gore
to. I think
scenes,
you're making a movie like this. You
Well,
better
make it
go
cute.
over the top.
She stabs the guy and she kind of walks out all dainty like, and the knife is clean, because it's that kind of movie. It's British, British scale. She's murdering people named Basil and such. But no, she got that one dude, that sloppy DJ. He vomited in the cab and then tongue right in the mouth.
Oh,
like didn't even take time to wipe. Just
Don't judge.
Oh, I'm empty now. Thank you.
And
Right
some of the gore
Delicious.
was like
Look
borderline.
at Adam's face. That was your favorite scene, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was then he turned it off.
He was about to turn it off before that. He's gonna rewind.
He's like, there we finally.
It seemed like some of the gore was they were trying to aim for Neon Demon.
I definitely. That's a really good. Yeah.
And
Same director.
they didn't
Drive,
execute it. What they
Same
executed on was like more like a slasher
As Drive,
style.
anyway.
Oh, okay.
That he just said it was similar to. So
And what they ended up doing was like it felt more like a slasher style.
That's kind of what I felt. But like they didn't know what they were doing in anything they were doing. Like nothing was egregiously terrible, but they kind of tried to do 5 things. And instead of doing one good thing, they did 5 very mediocre things.
Okay, that's my complaint too. It was half-assed in a bunch of different styles. Had they stuck to one, maybe even 2, you blend kind of.
It could have been a good comedy if they kept it like a bloody comedy and stuck with trying to be funny or sillier about it. But it was the moments that they tried to be more serious or frightening, I think, failed the most.
Okay, and we can be kind of glib about this because this is after the fact. I can only recall one movie that's specifically done it right, and there are several that have done it horribly wrong. My personal go-to for the worst possible way you can do it is Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, geez.
I actually watched that the other day after Charlie Murphy
That's
died.
a special
And it
level.
is not good.
It
Everyone's
is
like,
so
"Oh,
good.
Charlie Murphy's dead. This was
and
a hidden gem." I'm like, "Are you stoned?"
An example of a
I was
movie.
gonna say, it's actually funny. I got stoned and tried to watch that after Charlie Murphy died, and it didn't even work.
Kadeem
then.
Hardison is like,
But
"Oh,
an example of a movie that has that horror comedy vibe that I think really works. I don't know if anybody knows the film Dead and Breakfast. It's a David Carradine movie. It's really goofy. It's like a zombie movie. And I hate zombies, but I like this movie because it's just, it's just a fun horror comedy. And it's very uproariously silly, called Dead and Breakfast. But it has that kind of slapstick silliness with the level of gore that suits that, instead of trying to scare you, instead of being like, we're going to be real spooky. This baby's like a baby pal. It's going to be so scary. And you're watching it, and it's just, they mentioned the throw-up makeouts, and it's just, there's a lot of elements to this film that felt out of place in the sense of, okay, this is something from a raucous comedy. Okay, this is something from a horror slasher film. But they just happened one after the other, and I'm very confused.
Well, it became too ridiculous to follow because once you think you have it pinned down, they'll throw another curve at you with a different style that just doesn't really work. And I think maybe the actors were too confused. I thought it was a completely righteous mission because the guys that she's killing are pretty much bad guys, and you don't find out how they're connected until the end. It tries to drop hints, so I'm picking up the clues, I'm involved, but no, it's kind of cornball. But by the end, you figure, okay, so they're all bad people and they all did something. I get it now. And then she murders an innocent guy, and we're like, what? And you do this for a while, and you go all cross-eyed, and then you have to see an optometrist. But what it comes down to is, it could have been a really good movie, a really funny movie. The thing that comes to mind of the right way to succeed at this is American Psycho.
Yeah.
Because that properly straddled the line between funny and what the
funny horror and social commentary.
Yes.
Done strongly.
And such a great soundtrack.
Right, but American Psycho had the transitions between those things handled it perfectly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically they tried to do American Psycho and unfortunately ended up doing American Psycho 2.
Yeah,
There's an American
Actually, maybe
Psycho
like
too.
American
There's
Psycho.
American
the
That's
prequel.
true.
Do not
I've
ever...
successfully avoided that one.
Yeah, don't subject yourself. I don't know what kind of masochistic... Anyways, you were saying...
I was going to say, was this more like American Psycho, the prequel? He's the baby inside.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd been good.
Could have happened.
Should have went for that.
No, this was like, look who's talking.
With Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, I was thinking of an old movie. It's Alive, I believe, was the name
Oh,
of it.
God.
About that like
With that
demon
alien that
fetus.
lives in the mouth. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
it.
no, that
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was wicked, creepy movie. That was that
movie
went straight
is
hard.
an actual. Yeah, I was about to say that is an actual horror movie, and it's also basically, you know what this movie's like? Somebody watched that movie and then watched like, I don't know, just whatever slapstick comedy and was like, it'd be great if these were the same movie.
Well, there's another zombie movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like black and white in color. And in the black and white, it's all zombie and it's all creepy and everything. And in the color, it's the people actually as the zombies, but they don't know they're zombies. So they do a lot of comedic stuff during that.
Damn it, Warm Bodies.
No, not Warm Bodies.
Oh, I swear.
But it's older than that, and this was like a B-rated, I think
They
like
Live?
B movie.
Like they put the glasses on. That's all.
Hey,
Yeah, it's not Warm Bodies.
Adam, put the glasses on.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna need about 10 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
We'll have to
we're
fist
actually
fight
out of
for an hour.
time. As much as I want to hear Johnny's hating on the movie a little more. But okay, so the movie's called Deathbed. It's spectacular. It was made in 1986. You want to go see it right away? No, the movie is called Prevenge. If you're looking for just something kind of dumb slasher movie, amusing and not funny, not in my opinion, but yeah, it's not bad. I'll say, yeah, check this out, but I'm not like highly recommending it. It's one of those just, I can't give it a full thumbs up, but it's not it wasn't a terrible time. It was just a movie that struggled with too much ambition, There was hubris here.
Gotcha.
Johnny?
I recommend it. It's bad, but it's not super bad. Some of the intense sort of psycho-y moments were kind of good until it like ruined it with its transition into like weirdness.
Also want to point out this is a man who liked Prometheus.
Oh.
All right, and Adam?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
All right, Adam's passion is what really makes his reviews pop. All right, and this has been the Geek Down right here on WEMFradio.com. Catch us every Monday right here on WEMF Radio or at geek-down.com. You can also hit us up if you heard anything on this show you want to chime in on, want to tell us how much you love Prevenge. Hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com. I want to thank Chris.
Thank you for having me.
I want to thank Deneb.
Thank you.
And want to remind you all to go to reliablebud.com and get ready to see us and get ready to see them and bring your own product on June 10th.
This is Camp Marshall, Spencer, Massachusetts, 1 to 6 p.m. Be there.
All right, good stuff. And we will catch you all, but first, I want to remind you to hit us up on YouTube or on SoundCloud, on Twitter, on Facebook, all the Geek Down, or you can search us and find us on iTunes. Just search The Geek Down with the first results that come up. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, be excellent to each other. Peace.
Na, 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 na.